Hi everyone, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So I'm doing a bit of a scrap lift of a scrap lift of a scrap lift for this layout. I participated in on my own channel in a YouTube hop where the requirements were to scrap lift a certain YouTube member called Jennifer, Kay's mum, and the layout I created, I really loved. It was really smooth and simple layout to create. Then one of my good Facebook, YouTube, scrapbooking life friends scrap lifted my version, and now I'm scrap lifting her version. So it's a whole big tunnel of scrap lifts, all sort of based on this same general layout. So what we've done is I have cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it 7? 7 pieces of paper, strips of paper. I have distressed the edges, and I'm going to stick those in a complementary range of colors along in a row. Ta-da! Then once I do that, I'm going to mat that square onto a 12 by 12. So that square is probably 11 by 11, and then the strips of paper would be about 10.5 by maybe 1.5. Yeah, maybe a little bit less than that. Can't remember, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to stick a strip of white paper all the way across the center. And on top of that strip of white, I'm laying a bit of, it's not technically washi, but it is glitter tape all the way across the top. And it's kind of like a glitter lace tape. And I'm going to glue that down or double-sided tape that down all the way across the page. I'm loving this kit. This kit I'm finding so easy to work with. I think I have made 9 or 10 layouts, and I've not really got much more paper left. I've used nearly all of my paper, but I got tons of ephemera, so I can keep going and do some mixed media backgrounds from that gorgeous mixed media kit. That texture paste is gorgeous, and I have been using my stencils quite a bit. So then I have pulled from my stash 2 other strips of washi tape that I just stuck those straight onto white card. Instead of straight onto my page, I stuck them onto white card and then cut those strips out. And I know that is double handling, but it just gives that washi a stronger, more pure color, and I really wanted it to be the color that it is. I didn't want it to get washed out or faded out when I put it on top of the gold lace tape. So that's why I did it that way. And then the same with this little tiny love heart one as well. It is stuck onto white card. So that's why they're almost like having border strips, and border strips would absolutely work. I actually looked at the branding strips on our papers, but there weren't very many that had the full branding strip in the pattern of the paper. Some of the ones that did were the cut apart sheet, so that wasn't really useful for me. And I think there was another one, but not many. Most of the branding strips just had the little mini bit of the color. Does that make sense? I hope you know what I'm talking about. So that's why I ended up having to pull some washi out of my stash. So pop all that down, and then I have got 2 photos that I've stuck right next to each other and joined together to be basically one 4x6, and I've matted those photos with a few different colors, a white and then 2 other colors from my pattern paper that I was very much at the end of, so had to piece together. And then I actually distressed up the edge of the colored mat as well. So the white mats of the photo are cut smooth, but the pink and the blue floral mat is cut, has been distressed, just to give that little bit of matching texture, the same as what is in the strips behind. Then pulling out a little bit of thread, I've got some blue and some coral that I'm bunching up together. If I had a green, I absolutely would have used a dark green, but I don't. So just bunching that up into a big mess. Then I'm going to stick on a little bit of tape to hold it all together, and then I'm going to pop it underneath, just tuck it in underneath my photo to be a bit of a cluster base over there. Cute. As I mentioned, this is a scrap lift of Jennifer from Kai's mum's, Jennifer Gange, I think her surname is pronounced, from Kai's mum, and then a double scrap lift from my friend Arlene, because, yeah, we're playing a little bit of scrap lift tag. So I scrap lift Kay's mum as part of her 1000 YouTube hop, and then Arlene scrap lift me, and then I'm scrap lifting Arlene right back again, because it was Arlene's idea to do the distressing around all of the edges, which I really liked. So just popping all that down. On my original one, I didn't have a white square. So where my green spotted border is, I actually had that full piece of card. And I stuck my strips directly on top of the green spotted card. But in this one, I thought it was quite busy. I thought there was quite a lot of colour happening with all of my papers. So I decided to do a big block of white in the centre and put my strips on top of that. And I think I'm really happy with making that choice. I think it's really made the papers pop a lot more off the page. So now I'm working on a title. This is a birthday party celebration, so none of them hugely go. There was a word that said celebrate, but I used that on a different layout, so I'm going to roll with on this day. And then I pulled our little gold alphabet stickers from last month's kit and popped the title, the second part of the title, Frank is 40, underneath. I did want to put something like, Frank's 40th birthday or something like that, but I didn't have the correct letters, so Frank is 40 will be fine. Then sticking on one of my most favouriteest butterflies, I love those. I'm finding those acrylic pieces a little bit hard to use. I think they're going to have to end up being layers underneath a few things. Chopping off that word phrase, you shine, from the swan, because I think that will go well with this dress-up party. Just in case you're wondering, the theme of the dress-up party is to dress up as something that starts with your name, I think. So Frank is a fireman. Sorry, I'm just going to sidetrack for a minute and say I'm cutting one rainbow off that acrylic strip, and I'm going to stick it onto white paper just to make it really easy to see, and a bit more like a piece of ephemera. I find that acrylic pieces can sometimes be quite challenging because they're see-through, and I really like my ephemera pieces to be more cardboard, so that I can layer them where I want them to go. Whereas when I was holding that rainbow piece next to the photo, it was getting a little bit lost because there's just so many colours happening. So yes, Frank is a fireman. My husband, Matt, he is a Melbourne Football Club player. I am dressed up as, if you are Australian, you will hopefully know, as a girl called Jamie or something like that, Jamie, from, I don't even know the show anymore. I can't remember. I never really watched it. Anyway, a comedic show. Anyway, it's a boy who dresses up as a girl. And yeah, we've got a few other ones in there, as you can see as well. So sticking down my last little bits and bobs. I love those butterflies. I could just use those butterflies on every single layout. They are divine. So I cut those. I'm not sure if you were supposed to cut those perforated sweet words, or if you're supposed to leave them all as one piece. I think either would have been fine, but I've ended up cutting mine. I think I've used 2 of the sweet words so far out of the 5. They work for me a bit better, I guess, being individual. What that was there with the rainbow is I didn't want to cover all of the washi on the left-hand side of the photo. I wanted you to be able to see that it was there and it continued under the photo. But that location really was the best spot to put the cluster. So I'm just going to have to get over it and cover the washi and survive. So I'm just about done. I will do a few rhinestones, and I will do a few ink splatters as well. I decided not to put one last butterfly away. I would just use it on this layout. which is very brave of me, I think. I could have put it on one more, but no, I decided I'd just use it. And then because I'd done 2 butterflies, I'm like, oh, well, apparently you're going butterfly-y, so you better put on a few more. Then just to be sure that we know this is a birthday, I've just got some word phrases that are birthday related that I'm going to pop on. And then, yeah, a few rhinestones just to finish it off. These come in a strip. They're all sort of joined together so you can put them in one big long row. So I've just got to cut them with scissors to separate the glue. How are you going with your kit? Are you smashing it out? Are you getting there? Have you started it? I know that there were months when I would get to the end of the month, or my new kit would be revealed, or what have you, and I hadn't even started the last one because our life just gets so busy. So hopefully you've managed to get a few things done or get a look in at it at least. So here are my close-ups or my photos. And you can see it's a really cute little layout. So I hope this has inspired you to get creating with your kit. It hopefully will help you use a few little things from your stash as well. That's always nice. So thanks everyone for watching. Please stay tuned and check out the Kitaholic Kits channel for more.